All right. I am so excited for tonight. We have a wonderful show here. And not only that, it is about significance, about purpose, about enriching, and about everything when it comes to women ages 60 and over. And that's, of course, our Senior Pageants Group and the many pageants that they encompass. Today and tonight, we're going to talk about all about what's happening. We have a pageant coming up on November 16th is the actual day. We're going to see where it's held at, the event area, and we're going to talk with the president, James Kimsey. Before I bring him on, I just want to say 9 at Night is every weekday night. It's where you find incredible people making a positive difference. Each night has a different topic. Tuesday night, it's all about the royalty. And I'm talking real royalty with elegant women that have been very successful in their life, carrying on with their principles and purpose. So right now, I can't wait to introduce our president of pageant groups, and that's James Kimsey. He is definitely a dynamo. He didn't mean to be the president of this. He just kept sponsoring women until they had a need for that. And with his background in business and as a lawyer, he definitely has fit the bill and has really improved it wonderfully. So we're so glad to have you, James. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much, Christine. And right now I'm at the Waterfront Inn in the Villages, Florida. And we just got through with a wonderful hurricane. And up here, it's not much damage. Down where I live, the winds were in the neighborhood of 170.
Oh my gosh.
We only lost one person, and that was because he was already in the hospital with a heart attack. So we had no fatalities from the hurricane at all in our county.
That's many blessings for that. That is incredible. So glad you're here, glad you're safe, and you're on the show. I'm excited because we have several things that we're going to talk about tonight. I'm going to show some slides, and I'm just going to let you just elaborate here on what we have. I wanted to recap on the pageant itself and your purpose in it, and let's turn it over to you.
Well, on the left, we have the logo for the Senior Pageants Group, because our three major pageants, we started with Senior USA, and then with Senior Universe, and then Senior United States is our younger baby group. Senior USA has two categories, They have the senior at 60 and the super senior at 75. We also have Senior Sweetheart, which we're keeping that title alive in honor of Lenny Kaplan, who started senior pageantry in the United States. And then in Senior Universe, we have the senior, super senior, and then we have the Grand Dams at 90. And to the right, we have our flyer for the villages, and we're going to be at the Sharon Morse Center for the Performing Arts. And the tickets have been on sale since August at this point.
Okay, that's absolutely excellent. These ladies are incredible. We're going to meet one of them, but the pageantry.
I'm sorry,
I said these ladies are absolutely incredible. We're going to meet one of them tonight, but this is an article in Pageantry Magazine, and they have nothing but the best of kudos for what you're doing with the women and how you're doing the pageants.
Well, what we've done is we've taken senior pageantry and we've turned it mainstream. Our ladies participate in New York Fashion Week. They participate in events around the globe. Today, actually, is the start of the World Senior Games. So our Miss Senior Universe is a part of that. She's part of the Hall of Fame. And then we also have the Shriners Hospital for Children tournament. And then yesterday was Miss USA. So we always send a senior queen up to Miss USA, mainly because we're trying to promote mental health awareness. And just because you lose one pageant at the age of 20 doesn't mean life ends. Our queens are 4 times that age and are going strong. So we try to show as much support as humanly possible. We also had a lady just yesterday at the United Nations for the International Senior Day, and talking about the senior equality movement and the way that we're trying to educate and take care of the health of seniors.
I love that. And I love the fact that you're really putting them in the mainstream, these wonderful, elegant ladies who have definitely accomplished much and they're still going strong. So I love that, especially with the youth, the younger ones. We have one more we're going to talk about before we start talking about locations here. Let's talk about the different awards here.
Well, at the top of the award is the World Senior Games Hall of Fame. And that was received by our Senior Universe, Marianne Hamilton. She also received the Fitness Award. So at the Global Beauty Awards, which is a multi-pageant system, the seniors have a chance to compete on the same level as the younger queens. And Marianne, at the age of 70, was able to actually win the Fitness Award for overall. And so on the left, we have the TGBA awards. We've had 13, 14 awards. We've had 42 finalists and over 100 nominations, and we've been involved since they started. To the right of that is the Pageantry Senior Pageantry Legacy Award. And so we've had 3 of those awarded. The Spirit Awards, we've had, I think, close to 200 of those, because we also have a Senior Hall of Fame. So senior ladies that participate are inducted into the Senior Hall of Fame. And then the European Film Industry Award is that we have 2 awards there. One was a predecessor pageant, and then we have a Shelley in Wonderland, which is actually opening in the United States on November 5th.
That is an excellent documentary, and I loved it. And I'm just doing some sneak tidbits because I'm not going to say what it's totally about, but I loved why they picked Shelley and as one of the contestants. It was a well done film. So that's excellent. Now let's talk about the waterfront in Villages. This is where you're at right now.
This is where I'm at currently. I'm actually sitting in a room just off the dining room near the lights. Actually, if we have, there's a little bit of a breeze blowing, so our internet might go in and out. But the Waterfront Inn is a beautiful facility, and they're going to be our host hotel for the pageant.
That is beautiful. Look at the view. Oh my gosh, you must be in heaven over there. That's that beautiful view. And can anybody, the guests fly in, can they book their rooms here too if there's availability?
Yes, there's a room block that's available, and so the room block is available to all the pageant queens and guests.
Oh, okay. Are you just off to the side of this room?
Yes, actually, I'm. If you look towards the back where our pictures, I'm actually right behind those doors.
I love it. All right, I got you pinpointed. And then beautiful rooms with beautiful views.
Yeah, the rooms are very spacious. They have balconies, and then that's a king, but there's also a double queens, double kings. We've had a couple of suites set up for the ladies that are bringing their parents that might have mobility issues as well.
One thing I love is your tenderness with the older women's and their spouses. Everything. I love that. It's about time they get that recognition. And isn't this a gorgeous view?
Well, actually, if you see where those lights are and just up where there's a patio area, that's where we're having our Queen's Ball, and it's going to be the senior prom. So it's going to be an indoor-outdoor prom, and we have a king and queen of the prom, which is a Sam and Erlene Roos. And so the idea is to, and knock on wood, there's no more hurricanes, but it'll be an indoor-outdoor prom, and it's going to be just absolutely gorgeous.
Excellent. Now for the spouses, the husbands that are here, what is the dress for these events for the guys?
Well, for most of the events, it will be casual, suit for pageant night, but for the Queen's night, formal if you have it, and suit if you don't.
Excellent. That's exciting. Now, this is where the event's going to be held, the Sharon L. Morse Performing Arts Center. I'm going to let you talk about that.
Well, the Sharon Morse Center was actually a former church that was converted in 2015. It's named after Sharon Morse, who was the daughter of the original founder, Mr. Schwartz, and the wife of Gary Morse, who took over from him. And it seats slightly over 1,000 in several levels, and the acoustics are wonderful. So that actually shows you what it looks like where we'll be holding the pageant.
Oh, it's just gorgeous. And it looks like those sound effects or acoustics would be incredible with that. Excellent choice. Now, how do you choose each location?
Well, the locations come from the winners of the pageant. So, for instance, we had two of the winners are from Florida, and they insist because we've been in Vegas. Everybody's chosen Las Vegas for the last several years, and so our grand dame Ida wanted to bring it to Florida, and so that's how we ended up here. Carl's father actually lives in the Villages, and so that's how we ended up in the Villages. So what's going to be interesting about this particular facility is we're working with several Villages groups to open the show. So we have the twirlers and the cheerleaders and the Sunshine Girls, and they're going to actually open the show for us.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be an excellent opener. I love it. What I'm going to do, I'll have you introduce our podcast. Now, let's talk about Carl Dunn and Pageantry Magazine and how you were able to build that relationship with them.
Carl Dunn is the CEO of Pageantry Magazine, and in my opinion, which doesn't really mean much because I'm not really a pageant person, but if the pageants aren't listed with Pageantry Magazine or covered, to me they're not in the mainstream. Carl Dunn is a mover and shaker in the industry, and he called and offered some assistance, mainly because we were a new startup, and had a previous relationship with Carl that came through the legal field. But when Carl called me up, between Carl and Lenny and some of the ladies who have been around just an awfully long time, like Ida White, our grand dame, has held every major senior pageant title out there. Essentially, we have conference calls and I listen to the ladies. And my job is not to say no, but to try to make it happen if it's possible.
That is excellent. I really love that. Well, what we're going to do, I'm going to have you introduce the Miss Senior USA for 2022.
Well, Connie Snyder is from Arizona. She is a pianist. She was a defense contractor, and then her husband is a retired Navy SEAL. She is just an incredibly talented individual. Recently, she had a mishap where she broke her foot.
Mm.
You'll see what I often call the prophetic moment where she's showing the shoes and the boots, and she actually fell off one of those long high heels, and she's recovering now. We spoke tonight just right before this podcast. So, but Connie is just an incredibly energetic person and very infectious. That's the best I could say. And then enjoy the podcast.
Excellent. We're going to go ahead and get that started. And you and I are going to mute and turn our videos off in here.
Welcome to the Pageantry Podcast.
And today's very special Pageantry Podcast guest, Ms. Senior USA 2022, Connie Snyder. Connie, welcome.
Greetings, Carl, from Northern Arizona. How are you today?
I'm doing great. We're in the middle of production, but I wanted to spend some time visiting with you today about all things Ms. Senior USA. Are you ready?
Okay. That sounds good, and maybe even more.
Explain what the title of Miss Senior USA truly means to you.
Well, I have a lot of thoughts on that. First of all, I'm going to be a representative of women over 60. I'm also going to be a representative of the Senior Pageants Group in which I belong, and my fellow queens. So it's important for me to be a good example and to be a spokesperson for all of those categories.
How did you become interested originally in Senior Pageants Group?
Oh my gosh. Okay, can I back up a little bit on that one, and I'll tell you a little bit about the journey so you have an idea. So I am a rookie to pageantry. Well, I'm going to take that back. When I was 15, I grew in Arizona and I tried out for the Miss Tempe Junior Miss that has to do with the Rotary. And I had so much fun because all the girls from the high schools around, we all competed. So there we are. And today forward, I've already had a full career. I've had kids. I've been through divorces, marriages again. And here I am. I was seeking to do something different. This entering a pageant was a bucket list item for me, as odd as that sounds. And when I did it, I really stepped out of my comfort zone. And by doing so, you certainly learn a lot about yourself. It's like, okay, I can do this. I'm confident. Yes, I have to practice my piano again. But there are certain things, it's like, okay, I'm a rookie at picking out clothes, wearing shoes, but I've had so much fun being part of the Senior Pageants Group because I've already fulfilled a lot of milestones along my life's journey. And here I am.
Here you are.
Here I am.
And speaking of this year as Miss Senior USA, tell me what you've been able to accomplish thus far.
Oh my gosh, I have been very busy. So I have several things that are my passion. First of all, I'm going to say, because I was a small business owner in the defense marketplace, back up a little bit, I employed deep sea divers on federal projects. And I earned an 8A qualification through the Small Business Administration. So working with small business of any designation is a passion of mine, and I like giving back to that. So I attend meetings that are part of defense and focus on women. I am also very passionate about veterans. I am married to a retired Navy SEAL that put in 28 years on the SEAL teams. So I am part of that SEAL community and the veteran community, and I just want to say go Navy right now. So, and I'm also very passionate about giving back to those things. And I also enjoy sharing my talents in my music. So those are the things that I've been doing. But then we kind of throw in a few other little fun things. So, for example, I wanted to go to Del Mar, California, and be part of opening day at the Del Mar opening day horse races. So I put the feelers out, and we got in. Marianne, who is Ms. Senior Universe, my colleague, and we went to Del Mar opening day, and it was a fun day. And we got all dressed up and had a great time. I wore a pink sequin dress and a crown and a sash and greeted all the people as they entered. And it was filled with beautiful people with big hats, fabulous clothes, and we all came together on an opening day. I'm telling you, I felt like Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady. It was fabulous.
You're a senior woman, and we've talked about this before. Why would a senior woman really want to compete in a pageant?
Well, we come together with similar experiences, life experiences, careers, families, children, divorces, and we bring that all together, and we want to be part of something more, whether it's giving back to your community or sharing like stories. And we come together and do something new, because our life isn't over with. We have things to do, and we just want to expand a little bit more and do our very best and give back.
And unlike a lot of pageants, the Senior Pageants Groups, whether it's Miss Senior USA or Miss Senior Universe, the competition actually incorporates a talent presentation.
Yes, it does.
And yours was?
You see that back there? That is a piano. And I have two because I just can't have just one. So we're in my office. So this is my little studio piano, but I have a lovely baby grand in there. And I've been playing the piano since I was 6. And believe me, I've been playing in Sunday school and church and accompanying my sisters as they sing or play the violin. I play the piano in other community groups. It doesn't stop. So I continue to do that. And at the end of this, I'll play a little song for you.
I look
when
forward
we'll
to
all
it.
know. How's that?
I look forward to it.
Okay.
Although you are Miss Senior USA currently, you will be competing for Miss Senior Universe in the upcoming pageant.
Yes.
You're a current title holder. Why would you
Yes.
want to compete again?
I believe it's an expectation. Because I'm Miss Senior USA, I need to represent seniors as part of the USA, my country, and compete and be part of that group.
What makes Miss Senior USA, Miss Senior Universe, Senior Pageants Group so unique within the industry?
Because we focus on women that are over 60. And it is specifically for women over 60 that have had life experiences and growth and changes. And collectively, we come together and we compete because we want to do something new.
You mentioned it before that you are a very proud supporter of our veterans, as well as the whole Senior Pageants Group.
Yes.
That your husband is a retired Navy SEAL. How do you support veterans?
Oh my gosh. Well, I attend a lot of events, and I literally put my feelers out because I'm part of the community. I suppose I'm privy to a lot of things that are happening in my own community and within the state of Arizona, because this is where I live. So I want to be an active participant. And because I am married to a veteran with a lot of experience, I want to keep him involved. As a good spouse, I feel it's being a good spouse. He's happier when he's around his people because they understand each other. They've been through the same things. They've been in the fight. They know the difficulties, and they've dealt with the worst of humanity. So I do it as a support mechanism, but I also do it because I'm a believer. And actually, behind the scenes, there's a whole collection of women that I belong to. The Navy SEAL Sisterhood, which is just the SEAL wives. And we get together and we talk about things that are currently, that our group may have a problem with. Some of them have problems with PTSD or bad dreams, or they don't breathe very well at night. We talk about things like that, and it helps provide answers so that we are aware, frankly.
A question I have to ask.
Yeah.
Over the bio. What's it like being catapulted off a flight deck?
Oh my gosh, I got to tell you. So I got to be, I was asked to be a distinguished visitor aboard the Carl Vincent, an aircraft carrier. And I was invited because I was a woman in business as an 8A in working in defense and doing federal work. And the person that was in charge of that asked me if I would like to be selected to go. Holy cats, I jumped at the chance. I'm like, I am out of here. My bags are packed. So we all loaded. There were 5 people that were invited, and they were conducting flight operations offshore, 100 miles offshore of San Diego. And we got in what they call a COD plane. I don't know what that acronym stands for. Anywho, it's a COD plane. And let me tell you, landing on that flight deck on an aircraft carrier, I was convinced that Navy pilots can land on a postage stamp. I'm like, holy cats, I can't believe it. So then we spent 3 days on the carrier. We saw how the inner workings worked, even down underneath the belly of the ship, all the arresting gear, landing gear. We ate with the captain, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And then when it was time to go, we loaded in the COD plane, and the only way I can describe taking off, being catapulted off a carrier, is you're in a slingshot and you take off. It's unbelievable. And it's just, the feeling is so exhilarating. Your heart goes right up to your neck. It was fabulous.
And did you?
Yeah, it's one of the highlights of my life. I'm like, oh yeah, that was phenomenal.
And you hear about these flights. Did you keep everything down?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes, I did. And I also had to learn I cannot put my feet in the back of the seat. Otherwise, it's going to hit your Achilles tendon, and you're going to be disabled by the time you get off. Anyway, awesome. Okay.
One thing I'm amazed about is that the queens of senior pageants groups are very involved in the planning of the next year's event.
Yes.
What can we expect?
We can expect, we are a fabulous queen team. Can I just tell you? I feel like it's like the Knights of the Round Table. We have James, our pageant director and CEO, who is the head of our organization, and he does a phenomenal job, herding cats with all these women. And frankly, he's like dealing with the estrogen ocean, frankly. So let's be real, that is so true. And all these different personalities, and some of us are, have strong personalities, and I'm outgoing, so I'm maybe a little outspoken. But we have enjoyed so much planning the pageant that will be taking place November 16th at the Villages in Florida. And the process to get us to this point, we have worked together like a fine-tuned violin. And we work together, we communicate well, and we have enjoyed, subcontracting and vendors and working with the people at the venue. It has been a very positive experience. I personally have liked it because for me, it has brought out my business skills. As a businesswoman, I love that. It is part of my passion. I enjoy giving back, and the business side, the venue, the negotiating, the contracts, insurance, all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people, it's like, well, they don't get, but I love it. I actually like it better than competing. If I were to be truthful, I'd probably tell you that.
Let me ask you this. What have you learned about yourself through competing?
I like competing And I like the sisterhood that's behind the scenes and the relationships that are developed, the stories that we listen to from others. I really like that. But the passion for me is the business side of it.
But what have you learned about yourself?
I'm pretty okay. I'm a confident, strong, vocal person, and and I like to have props. Wait, here's something that I have to show you. So I know this is going to feel like show and tell. So you see this? This is what I used to wear to work when I worked in the harbor in Los Angeles and in Long Beach. This is what I've learned to walk in. You can't make it up. I'm like, who does this? At 65 years old, I can walk in platform shoes.
And all of you think I live in a suit or a tux, and everybody here in Orlando around the office complex, wherever, thinks I don't shave, wear golf shorts all the time, golf shirt, and docksiders.
Yeah.
How can
Okay.
senior women learn more about Senior Pageants Group, specifically the different titles of Miss Senior USA and Miss Senior Universe?
Well, the best place to start is to start with the website, which is www.misseniorusa.org. From that point on, you will be able to have a phone number, information, history. You might even see a picture of me there and Marianne and some of the other title holders there. And that's the best place to start. And if you're interested in competing and being part of our fabulous sisterhood, there is an area there also for applications and finding out more information.
Is there anything that you would like to add that possibly I was remiss in bringing up?
No, but I think that if a woman is thinking about competing, they ought to do it. My first thought is, you have so much life experience, so much to give back. Why not share that? Why not share the woman that you have become? Share your strength and spread your wings and fly and do some new stuff.
Any special recognitions you'd like to throw out there?
Okay, I have 3 things I want to say. So I have a funny story, first of all. So recognition to our Senior Pageants Group directors and CEO, who is James Kimsey. He is phenomenal to work with, and he has become my friend. I'm also going to give a shout out to Marianne, who's my sister queen, and to the gal that was my pageant coach for a full year before I ever decided to compete. But I also want to have a funny story about this one. So because of his background, you know, he's very alpha, very masculine. And he was asked by a documentary crew, how exactly do you feel about your wife competing in pageants? And without skipping a heartbeat, the man says, you know, I've swam in some very difficult oceans and operated in some very difficult, austere environments. But I'm living in the estrogen ocean and it's terrifying. I just thought that was hysterical. He's been really a good supporter as his house has been overcome with glitter, and he knows more about women's thing and boob tape and Botox than any man should.
I was very impressed when I met him at the pageant this past last January, and you know, I thank him for his service, you know, as well as your support of the veterans as well. But we talked about it a little bit before, and I'd like to, let's have Miss Senior USA 2022, Connie SNYDER, walk to the piano behind us, and let's take us out of the
We'll
Pageantry
do that.
podcast
Okay,
with a
it's
little
a
music.
favorite. Everybody loves it.
wonderful. I applaud Miss Connie Snyder.
Thank you, Carl. It was a pleasure being on.
I do want to say this has been a very enlightening and very fun interview for me this morning here. I can't wait to see it on the Pageantry podcast. Just so you do know, it will be on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Instagram Reels, Facebook, YouTube, pageantrymagazine.com. So as soon as we can get this edited down, as we are currently in production of the next edition of Pageantry Magazine, I cannot wait for everyone else to have the opportunity to listen and view this. Connie, I thank you so much.
Thank you, Carl.
Wow, is she incredible or what? You know, I was laughing. I was just, those tender moments she talked about. She is just absolutely amazing. And she definitely shines. What a great woman.
Well, she's, as I said, the winners each year help run the pageant the following year. So it's not just winning a pageant, it's actually becoming a co-director. And both her and Marianne have just done an excellent job. And as we speak tonight, Marianne is opening the World Senior Games. And unfortunately, Connie had the heels that you saw in the video. Connie was wearing those and tripped on a rug, unfortunately. So she has a broken foot. Spirits are still good. And, you know, her husband is hanging in there. So it's these are some very strong ladies. Barbara Reinke left a hospital bed to come to a pageant. Joanne Bechtel is in chemo now and will be doing chemo as she comes to the pageant. We have some very strong ladies, and Connie is definitely a I would say, you know, one in a million. Her and Marianne are just two of a kind that I really couldn't do without, because I'm in Florida and they're in Utah and in Arizona. And if we didn't talk every day, I would be lost, because I really don't know what I'm doing. I mean, swimming in the estrogen ocean is a good description.
I love what she said about you. I love the environment that these ladies are, and yourself, are creating for senior women. I've actually been, since I discovered, I've been talking to friends from different states to say, you need to do this. You know, you need to do this, and I'll tell you how to do it. Here's the application. And they're seriously, I have some seriously interested for next year. So I am really excited for that. And I'm excited for what is coming up here in November. I am going to go ahead and share it's Connie Snyder, just a dynamo. And here is the website for this pageant. Everybody should go to seniorpageantsgroup.com or Ms., and that's MS, seniorusa.com. The pageant finals is on November 16th. It is a vacation over there at the Waterfront Inn, as well as the wonderful Sharon Morse Performing Arts Center. So with that, James, I had a blast. My gosh, we're at the end of our show too. Is there any further items you want to talk about or nuggets?
No, that's pretty much it. Florida is recovering, and you know, the only thing, and here's where I tend not to make political statements, but I can compare Puerto Rico, which unfortunately there was a great loss of life and half the island still is without power. But in Florida, we have 100 people and less than 1% is without power now. We've got a great governor and a great system. And so, you know, that's what I can say is, and they're recovering. Collier County and Fort Myers were hit pretty hard, but everybody is recovering, and we're figuring it out one day at a time. The wind's actually blowing pretty good here right now, but you know, we're going to be ready for the next one. And there's two more that look like they're coming our direction. So, you know, keep your fingers crossed.
Oh, definitely. So, well, I sure appreciate you. I have so much fun learning each and every week. We're Tuesday nights at 9 at night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. James, thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Christine. I appreciate it.
I can't wait till next week's guest. We are at 9 at night, the end of our hour, and that's 9atnight.com, the number 9. And every Tuesday night, it's all about the royalty. Have an incredible evening. We're 9 at Night every weekday night. We'll see you tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. or next Tuesday, where it's all about the royalty.
You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful day